What's up, everybody? It's that time of the week again. It's Friday. Time for another devblog. This time it's devblog 137, the hyena. Alright, guys. Still, I kind of scrolled down. The thing that I'm looking for every week is a date. I want to know when this DLC drops. I love making these videos and talking about it, getting hyped for it, but man, I want to play the game. Hopefully it's coming soon. Also, I'm looking at these pictures of these hyenas, and all I can think is my dog right now, he's a puppy. His name is Tiny. Not so much a puppy anymore. He's getting bigger. His baby teeth are falling out all over the house, and we've been picking them up, and he's starting to get his real teeth, and he's trying to chew on every piece of wood around my house, and my house is nothing but like wooden furniture. It's so frustrating. He's basically a little hyena. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and read this one. It's a short one, but there might be some information here we can glean other than the enemy itself, the hyena. So, while dire wolves, webnecks, and scrats dwell deep in the dark forests of the north, the upcoming southern deserts have entirely different beastly inhabitants. We've already learned about the Ifrit, intended mostly as an opponent for well-established companies. Ifrit, very similar to the way the scrats operate. Basically a big stone golem that splits into smaller golems, if I remember correctly. This week is about a new beastly opponent for you to face in the early and mid-game, the hyena. Let's take a look. So early game probably in small numbers, and mid game probably in big numbers, similar to the way the direwolves fight. Now the direwolves also have two different flavors, right? They have the standard direwolves, and then they have the frenzied ones, which apply overwhelm, which based on how fast they are and the number of times they attack, makes them pretty damn deadly. Makes it hard to hit them, and then they just smash your guys over and over again. So the hyena. Prowling the southern deserts and steppe is the hyena, a carnivorous mammal that resembles a poorly groomed cross between feline and canine. Prey can be few and far between in the endless sea of sand, and so the hyena is both scavenger and nocturnal hunter. Many a traveler lost in the desert ended up a feast for a pack of hyenas, but whether they tore him apart as he was still alive, or he died of thirst long before the pack came upon him is another matter. There are certain animals which you would not want to be the ones to eat you. I always hear stupid conversations about this on podcasts and stuff. People talking about, like, if you could be eaten by one animal, which one would you want to be eaten by? And I'm just like, man, put me in like a great white shark mouth. Just end it. Just like I don't need to be getting like eaten feet first by a bear or something like that. That sounds horrible. And I feel like a pack of hyenas, they might kill you quickly, or they might just like eat an arm, eat a leg. Nah, I ain't going out like that. That sounds horrible. And I know cats will often go for the throat on purpose to just like kill you real quick, and that's it. Like, you're done. But no. I ain't trying to go out getting killed by a bunch of hyenas. That got pretty dark. Also, guys, there's tons of interesting facts about hyenas. Some of them are pretty weird. I'm not going to go into them here. But their whole like matriarchal society is very interesting. And yeah, feel free to look into that. Just look up hyenas matriarchal society and see kind of, you should get a lot of the scientific information, not just secondhand bullcrap from me. But they are very interesting in the way they operate. They're pretty unique among animals. The females especially. The males are just kind of punks. It's the females that are fascinating. I wonder if that'll be represented at all in the game. If there'll be like a matriarch or something like that, or like a big female hyena. That would be interesting. So in the barren wastes of the south, no scrap of flesh can go to waste, and the hyena has a jaw strong enough to crush bone so that it can get to every last shred. As it turns out, a jaw that can crush bone can crush armor quite well too, making the hyena a threat also to men in armor that would protect them against lesser wildlife. That's interesting. So you've got a bit of an armor component too. Like if you go into a direwolf fight later in the game and you're well armored, they can't hurt you. Direwolves really can't. Past a certain point when you're rocking, reinforced mail hauberks and stuff, and you've got battle forge, like they're not hurting you. Direwolves can't do anything. But hyenas still being a threat later in the game is very interesting, and it makes sense thematically. Hyenas, I think, have one of the strongest bite, like pounds per square inch, of any like land mammal. I know like hippos are high on the list. I know like crocodiles, pit bulls, I think certain big cats like jaguars and stuff, like for their size and stuff, they have their pounds per square inch are like ridiculous. I think hyenas are pretty high on that list as well. Okay, enough hyena facts, I guess. Okay. Although a hyena is smaller than a northern direwolf and not always able to kill an unarmored man in a single turn, the way it rips flesh from his victims can leave terrible bleeding wounds and inflict a bleeding status effect. Okay, yet another reason to bring bandages. I like that. A battle against starved hyenas is not lost as quickly as against a pack of direwolves, but it may well be over before you even realize it when your men live on borrowed time as they slowly bleed out while the hyenas circle you in anticipation of a feast. So, having something like rotation and bandages on everyone would be a great counter. So, like, your guy gets bleed, you rotate him out. Quick hands also, so you can switch to your consumables. And everyone pops a bandage, boom, you get rid of the bleed. And then it sounds like if you're at least well prepared, they could be a pretty easy fight. I would also recommend against direwolves as well. Just war dogs. Armored dogs mess them up pretty bad. It keeps them from surrounding you. So hyenas roam and attack in packs that swarm and often surround their prey, attacking from multiple angles. They're faster in combat than most of their opponents, faster even than a direwolf. Well, that's crazy. Direwolves already pretty much have priority over everything. So that's nuts to me that they would be even faster than that. I'm trying to think if there's any like good reason for that. If there's any practice, because like I said, they're already like the fastest thing that there is. So it doesn't make a ton of sense to me for them to be like even faster. You know what I'm saying? Seems a bit weird, perhaps unnecessary. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't think of anything. I don't know if that gives them even higher priority than, let's say, you use adrenaline. Maybe they still go first through adrenaline. A single hyena can attack 3 times a turn, so same as a direwolf, often overwhelming their victims and leaving them fatigued as they try to dodge every attack. However, their morale isn't particularly good, and like most beasts, they're especially afraid of firearms spewing smoke and fire with a loud bang, unreliable as they otherwise may be. What does this mean? Do beasts suffer morale checks whenever firearms are shot or grenades perhaps are thrown? This is not something I don't think that's been referenced before. But if those weapons have some sort of beast-specific morale debuff, that's interesting. That's another like check in the box to make those weapons more viable. I'm very curious. I want to get my hands on them first before I judge all the firearms, because it's hard to know what their efficacy will be and like their practicality until we actually get a chance to use them in combat. Now, if they suck in combat, but they have all these like fringe benefits, like they make beasts scared and want to run away, like they could still be viable in some sense. Yeah, just something to think about. Okay. And then naturally, hyenas drop unique loot, which can be either sold or used to craft new items. I'm sure it's their hide and fangs or something like that, including a new armor attachment if you own the Beast and Exploration DLC. Okay, so I have no doubt you can make something out of their hide. It's probably going to look cool as hell. Like if you can kind of see. Let's see if we open the new image in a tab. That barely helped. But you can see that this one's spotted. These guys are kind of striped. I wouldn't be surprised if the attachment had some similar effects there. Trying to think if there's anything else. It makes sense to take their fangs, and it's just similar to the direwolves. You can do stuff with it. I'm curious though, because the direwolves give you, is it 15 armor with no like cost to your fatigue, and then they also they have like a melee effect whenever you get into melee with them. It lowers morale. I'm curious what they'll do with the hyenas. We can speculate all day, but I think we'll just have to wait and see. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Devblog 137. It's a small one, but a good one. I've been kind of curious about how they were implementing them, and it's cool to see. I'm wondering if there's anything big left to show. Is there anything like the Ifrit? Like if we click on this, so we can go look at him real quick. Like this is a big enemy. This is this is sand and rock. This is a golem, for God's sakes. I'm wondering if there's any more like tier 3 beasts or tier 2 beast types that we haven't seen yet that could still be in the game. Or if we've seen mostly everything and we're just kind of waiting to get down to some of the finer details of the actual like campaign elements instead of just, the monsters and weapons and things. But either way, I'm very excited for this game to come out. I'm hoping it comes out soon. I've reached out to Overhyped Studios. I hope that they got my email. Hopefully I emailed the right people. But I might keep trying. I would love to get some early access to this DLC if that's something that's even a thing. I'm trying to remember if, in recent memory, if there have been any YouTubers that I watched that had early access to this, and I'm not sure if there has been. But yeah, I would love to get my hands on this game early so I can review it and test it out for you guys and give you my thoughts and opinions before, the wide world gets it. Get a little bit early. You guys get a sneak peek. I get to have some fun. It's a win-win. And yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm going to try and reach out to them again. Maybe next time. I was thinking this week was going to be the week we were going to get a date, but that was just based off of hope. Pure hope and no real facts. So maybe next week. Fingers crossed. Guys, I'm Brett. My channel is Goodtalk Gaming. As always, y'all, I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.